Hi kids! Hello mom and dad! Hey everyone! Welcome to Mathematics for Humanity, episode number 3. And for this session, we're going to deal with subtraction, how to do it, and the negative numbers. Maybe some of you have not heard of negative numbers before, but in this session, you will know more about them. By the way, please don't forget to share this video to help others. You may have heard of these before. We'll convert worded statements or questions to their mathematical equivalents. Here we have 7 minus 4 is 3, or 7 minus 4 is equal to 3, o 7 menos 4 es 3, o 7 menos 4 kay 3. The mathematical equivalent for that is 7 minus 4 equals 3. The next one is, what is the difference if 19 is subtracted from 6? O, unsa may diferensya kung ang 19 kay gisubtract gikan sa 6? The mathematical equivalent for that is 6 minus 19 equals. The next one is another question. What is 8 less of 25? Or what is 8 less than 25? That means the same thing, and the mathematical equivalent for that is 25 minus 8 equals. The next one is the difference between 43 and 34 is 9, or the difference between 43 and 34 equals 9 has a mathematical equivalent of 43 minus 34 equals 9. The next one is, what is 98 decreased by 71? Or, unsa man kung ang 98 gamyan nimo og 71? That's 98 minus 71 equals. The next one is, what is 55 diminished or reduced by 100? Or what is 55 diminished by 100? Or what is 55 reduced by 100? Or unsa man kung ang 55 kuhaan nimo og 100? The mathematical equivalent for that is 55 minus 100 equals. The next one is, what is the result if 37 is deducted from 23,794? Or unsa may resulta kung ang 37 i-deduct nimo from 23,794? The mathematical equivalent for that is 23,794 minus 37. So whenever you see, or whenever you encounter minus, difference, less of, less than, or difference, or decrease, diminish, reduced, deducted, when you encounter those words in a statement, that means subtraction or minus. Common word is like minus, but the formal word is subtraction. So what is subtraction? Subtraction is symbolized by this symbol, a dash. It is the act of reduction, deduction, eating away, or taking off a number from another number of the same specified objects. This means that you cannot subtract apples from oranges. They have to be the same object. Now let's try to consider this. Antonio has 50 pesos. He bought a pint of ice cream for 24 pesos. Which do you think of the questions below is appropriate for this problem? Let's see. How much is left? Is it an appropriate question? How much does he have? Is it? And the third one is, how much money is left? The third one is more specific than the first two, because like how much is left is a question, but it has to specify whether it's the money or the ice cream. Or how much does he have? Do you mean the money or the ice cream? So the third one is the most specific question for the problem. Here are simple rules of subtraction. The first one is, we know the number 0, which means nothing. The number 0, if subtracted from a number, gives the same number. So you have here 100,000 minus 0 is still 100,000. It's a big number, but I'll give you a smaller number. 6 minus 0 is equal to 6. So it's the same number. The next rule is the number 1. And by the way, for the rule number 1, it is also the same rule, is similar to the addition rule, where the number 0, if added to a number, gives the same number. So it doesn't matter if you add or subtract 0, it gives you the same number. The next rule is the number 1, if subtracted to a number, gives the number that is before or previous to it. The first example is a very large number. You have 34,678,910 minus 1 is just 34,678,909. Let's check the smaller number so that you will see rule number 2. You have 8 minus 1 is equal to 7. 7 is a number that is before 8. So rule number 2 can be seen in this example. Number 3, you have 15 minus 1 equals 14. This number 14 is before number 15. So now let's go to the next rules. If a number 3, if a number is subtracted to the same number, the result is always 0. You have here a big number, 998,665 minus 998,665 is 0 because these numbers are the same. Well, let's take a look at the smaller number, 48 minus 48 is equal to 0. So if you subtract the number by itself, from itself or to itself, is still equal to 0. The smallest number that you can think, the smallest counting number that you can think of that can be subtracted to itself is 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. Of course, 0 minus 0 is equal to 0. Also, 0 plus 0 is equal to 0. You can write this 1 minus 1 into this one. 0 is also equal to 1 minus 1. Or 0 is equal to 2 minus 2. For as long as they're the same, it gives 0 as the difference. Then you have 0 minus 1,507. 0 is equal to 1,507 minus 1,507. Rule number 4. It does not matter how many zeros are subtracted or added anywhere, the result is always the same. So like this, for example, 12 minus 3, this is equal to 12 minus 0 minus 3. Here you put the 0 between 12 and 3. It doesn't matter because 0 means nothing. It doesn't have an effect if you add or subtract it. So it's the same thing here. 12 plus 0 minus 3 is the same as 12 minus 3. Or you can put 0 in front of the 12. You have 0 plus 12 minus 3 is still the same thing here. 12 minus 3. Or 12 minus 3 minus 0 is still the same. Or 12 minus 3 plus 0 is still the same. This is actually equal to 9. Let's go to the next. We'll use what we have learned before. So here, you have 9 minus 4. What is 9 minus 4? We don't know what this is. But by using what we have learned, like here, 9 minus 4, you have that one. You can write 9 minus 4 as 8 plus 1. You can write this as 8 plus 1 in the rules of addition, that if you add 1 to a number, it gives the next number. So here you are adding 1 to 8, that's equal to 9, right? So you can write 9 as 8 plus 1. So 9 is just 8 plus 1. And you have minus 4 here. Then the next thing is you can write down the 4 here and then the 1 here. But 8 is 7 plus 1. So you can write that. But here, looking at the expression beside it, you have, this is also equal to 7, and this is equal to, what is 1 plus 1? 1 plus 1 is just equal to 2. In the rules of addition, when you add 1 to a number, it gives you the next number. So you can write that into 2 here, and then of course you retain the number 4 here. So let's continue. What is 7, by the way? By the way, you can write 2 here and then 4 here. Then you have 7. It's just 6 plus 1. So on the right side, you can write 6 here, and then 2 plus 1 is of course equal to 3, and then you retain the negative 4 here. So that's the same thing. And then you have here 6 plus 3 minus 4. You have here 6 as 5 plus 1, and then you have 3, and then you have 4. But what is 1 plus 3? 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. You write the 5 here. That's 4. And then 5, that's 5 plus 4 minus 4. But then you know that 4 minus 4 is 0. So you have 5 plus 0 equals 5. So then you know 9 minus 4 is equal to 5, which is this one. You can also do it like this. So you start with 9. By applying the rule, if you subtract the number, it gives you the previous to it. So if you have 9 minus 1, this is equal to 8. 8. And the next one is 9 minus 1 minus 1 is equal to 8 minus 1, because this is 8. And so you now have 8 minus 1 is equal to 7. And then the next one is 9 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. This is equal to 8 or 7. This one is 7 minus, or just 7. And then you have 9 minus 1. Oh, this is 8 minus 1. This is, by the way, 7 minus 1 equals 6. I'm sorry for that. But this is now minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 equals 6 minus 1. This gives minus 1. Sorry. Let me write it like that. So this is now equal to 5. You have subtracted 4 ones from 9. So that's just the same as this. 9 minus 4 equals 5. But this one explains it more clearly. So 9 minus 4 is equal to 5. Let's go to the next one. How about 14 minus 7? You can do the same thing until you reach 7 minus 7 on the right side. So you have 14 minus 7. 14, the number 14 is just 13 plus 1. So you have 13. You can write 13 as 12 plus 1. Retain 1 and retain 7 here. But 1 plus 1 is equal to 2 here. So you have 12 plus 2 minus 7. And then you have 12 is equal to 11 plus 1. You retain the 2 and the minus 7 there. So you will have, because you have 1 plus 2 here as 3, 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, because again, in the rules of addition, if you add 1 to a number, it gives you the next number. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3 here. So you have 11 plus 3 minus 7. They are all the same. They're all equal. Then, when you go down to 10, when you break 11, you will have 11 as 10 plus 1. And then 1 plus 3 is equal to 4. And of course 7 is retained here. So if you go through the process until you reach this one, until you reach 7 minus 7 here, which means 0, then you'll get the answer of 14 minus 7 equals 7. But in these two examples that we have, here, 9 minus 4 and 14 minus 7 is so time consuming. So we have to find a way to make our subtraction more fast. So say for example, you use a gadget, subtraction gadget, or object representations for that. So for example, what is 8 minus 6? So you have here a subtraction gadget where the upper part here is for the positive number, and then you have here the minus, the one below the horizontal line. So 8 minus 6 is, you have to put a sign, a symbol here, or you can do like this. You can draw a wave. This will represent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then you can draw a wave below for minus 6. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This means that you have to cancel. The first wave is cancelled here. The first wave is cancelled. The second wave is cancelled. The third wave, the fourth, the fifth, and the sixth wave is cancelled. And so you're left with 2 waves above. This means that this is 1, 2. So 8 minus 6 is equal to 2. How about 17 minus 5? This one here. Let's do it. Seventeen minus 5. You can also write this as 17 up here. You can write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And then below you have the the minus number. You have minus 1. You have minus 1, 1. You have 5 minus there, 5 minus 1s. So you can cancel because 1 minus 1 gives us what? 0, right? So this is 0, and this one is 0, and this one is also 0, this one is also 0, and this one is also 0. What's left is we have 1. We can count them. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 17 minus 5 is 12. How about 13 minus 7? So you can use again the wave if you want. You can use the wave again. So you can write the number here. You have 13, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And then below you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're left with how many waves above? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 13 minus 7 is 6. You can do the same thing for 18 minus 12. This is just equal to 6. 14 minus 10, this is just equal to 4. For 19 minus 11, this is just equal to 8. You can do the wave. But how about 12 minus 18? What about this? What about that? 18 minus 12, if you do the wave, is equal to 6. 14 minus 10 is equal to 4. And 19 minus 11 is equal to 8. How about 12 minus 18 here? So let's do the wave again. So 12 minus 18, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And then below minus 18, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So you're left with what? Here you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You have 6 waves below the horizontal line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So actually the answer for this one is negative 6. Look, you have 18 minus 12 is 6, but 12 minus 18 is negative 6. It's a new kind of number. There are actually two types of numbers. One is the positive. This one are positive numbers. And this one are negative numbers. Negative numbers are represented by the number with a dash in front. So when you say negative 1, that's negative 1. Or negative 100, that's negative 100. Or when you say negative 1 million, that's negative 1 million. There are two types of numbers, positive and negative. Here in this one, 10 minus 14 is negative 4, because 14 minus 10 is equal to 4. And then you have 11 minus 19 is negative 8. You can do the wave to check it. So here comes the rule. Rule number 5. If a bigger number is subtracted from a smaller number, the difference is the negative of the result of the bigger number minus the smaller number. But hey, wait, what is a negative number? Yes, we know that there are two kinds or two types of number, positive and negative, but what is a negative number? So again, I'd read the rule. If a bigger number is subtracted, so if you look at this, a bigger number is subtracted from a smaller number, the difference is the negative of the result of the bigger number minus the smaller number. So in this case, since you have 18 minus 12 equals 6, then 12 minus 18 is negative 6. Let's study, or let's talk about more, talk about negative numbers more in the slides that's coming up. Foundation of subtraction, the number 0. Again, the number 0, the number 1 are the two most important numbers in that we have to know. So we check this example. 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. Again, from the rule, any number subtracted by itself is always 0. 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. 1 million minus 1 million is equal to 0. Anything for as long as they are the same. That's 0. So here, 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. We can write 4 as 3 plus 1, right? Because by the rules of addition, if you add 1 to a number, it gives you the next number. So 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So you can write 4 as 3 plus 1. But then you can write 3 as 2 plus 1. You retain negative 4 here and the 1 there. That's still equal to 0. But what is 2? 2 is 1 plus 1. 1 plus 1. And then you have 1, the 1, and the 4 here. So finally, you arrive at this expression. Okay, this one. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is equal, minus 4 is equal to 0. This is the same thing as this one. Because we know that 4 is actually equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. 4 ones. So we write that here. Now, look at this. We go to the rules. You have 0 is nothing, so it can be equal to 0 plus 0 plus you don't, I mean, whatever number of zeros you want to put there, it's still 0. So 0 plus 0, this one is like an uncountable number, or any number that, or any number of zeros that you want to put there. Say you can put 100 zeros and so on. It doesn't matter. It's still 0. Or this one, you have 0 minus 0 minus 0 and so on minus 0. It doesn't matter. It's still 0. Or 0 minus 0 plus 0 minus 0 plus 0 minus 0. It's still, this is still equal to 0. Now, in the rule, when you subtract a number by itself, it's equal to 0. So we can write 0 here to 1 minus 1. 1 minus 1. And then this is just equal to this, 1 plus 0 minus 1, because 0 doesn't have an effect. If you add or subtract 0 to a number, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't change the number, or it doesn't change the result, because 0 is 0. So you have 1 plus 0 minus 1 here. You have 1 plus 0 minus 1. You can write 1 here. Let's make it bigger. Sorry. You can write 1 here. And then the 0 can be written as 1 minus 1 again. And then you have negative 1 here. So you have 1 here, then 1 here, the negative 1, the minus 1 here, and then the minus 1 again, the minus 1 again. So that's the same thing. But you can also still add 0 if you want here. Doesn't matter. But you can write this 0 as 1 minus 1 again here. So you will have, you have now 3 ones again, and you have 3 minus 1s here, or negative 1. So this is now, this is still equal, this one is still equal to here. So this one is still equal to this one, because 0 is just 0. You can add it anytime, anywhere. The result is still the same. But the 0 here, you can write as equal to 1 minus 1 again, so that you will have, finally, you will have this. Finally, you have 0 for this. This is just for this particular example. So you have 0 equals 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. Now here, you have this one and you have this one. 0 is equal to 0, right? So this expression here, this one here is equal to 0, and this one is also equal to 0. And you can see that you can see that 1 plus 1 plus 1 is appearing also here. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And then you're left with this number, minus 4. This is equal to minus 4. Because this one is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 minus 4 is equal to 0. And this one is also 4. So this one must be negative or then minus 4. Or we can say that it is negative 4. So you can write minus 4 or negative 4 as negative 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1, or minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. So that's the negative number. The positive number 4 is equal to 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. And the negative number 4 is minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. So I hope you now understand what is a negative number. So a negative number always has a dash in front of it. The positive number 4, you can always write that as 4. But the negative number, you have to put a dash, negative 4. So this is, you can read this as negative 4 or minus 4. It's the same. So I'd like to write again. This is negative 4, or you can read it as minus 4. Now, let's proceed. The negative numbers, since you can write 4 into minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, you can also write negative 1 as minus 1. Or negative 2 is minus 1, minus 1. Or negative 3 as minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. Or negative 11 as minus 1, 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 minus 1. Or for the negative 9, you have 9 minus 1s. So now, we check this. We check this example here. Negative 2 minus 6 is what? Negative 2 is, you have negative 1 minus 1 plus negative 1 minus 6, negative 1s here, minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 1. So all in all, you have how many minus 1s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you have 2 minus 6, or negative 2 plus 6 is equal to negative 8. So you have this negative 2 minus 6 is equal to negative 8. where this is equal to 2 plus negative 6 is equal to negative 8. That's the negative number. Now, since you know that there are two types of numbers, you can draw a number line. A number line is consisting of the positive numbers, the numbers that we know when we count things. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on the right side. And then the negative numbers goes to the left side. So it starts with negative 1 here, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, negative 8, negative 9, negative 10, and so on. So the positive numbers extends to the right, while the negative number extends to the left. The positive number extends to the right. Between the two types of numbers, the positive and negative, is 0. That's how important the 0 number is. So you have on this side positive numbers, and this side are negative numbers. So let's proceed with subtraction. How about doing subtraction for large numbers, for example? Wait, by the way, we can also do that here. This is 11 minus 7. You can write that as 11 plus negative 7. So again, you have 11 here. 1 plus 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 1. 11 ones. And then you have negative 7 is represented by 7 negative ones. You have minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So what happens here? You remove this parenthesis here and then combine this one here. You now have this one as 11 and this one as negative 7. But what is this? What is 1 plus what is 1 minus 1? That's equal to 0. So you're now left with 10 ones and 6 negative ones. Here. You can remove the 0 and write it like this. You can remove this and write it like this one. But then this one is equal to 0 here. So you can remove this one and then write it like this here. That one. So you're now left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ones, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 negative ones. So let's check this. Now, this one will give 0. This one will give 0 here. And this one will give another 0. This is equal to 0. This one is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. And then this one is also 0. And also this one will give 0. This is 0. This is 0. And finally, this one with this one will give you another 0. So how many ones are left? So you have 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. There are 4 ones, positive ones. So therefore 11 minus 7 is equal to 4. I hope by now you're not confused with positive and negative numbers. So finally we have 11 minus 7 equals 4, or you can write this as 11 plus negative 7 equals 4, or that's because when you add two numbers you can interchange the order. This is negative 7 plus 11 equals 4. Okay, we'll go to the next one. How about negative 8 minus 6? Negative 8 minus 6, you can write that as negative 8 plus negative 6. So you write negative 8 as, you have to write 8 negative ones here, negative 1, or minus 1, 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 plus minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. So how many ones, if you put them together without the parenthesis, you have, you take this out, take that out, take that out. So you have 1, negative 1, minus 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 1. So you have how many minus ones there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is now negative 14. So finally you have 8 minus 6 is equal to negative 14, and then you have this, you can also write this as negative 8 plus negative 6 equals negative 14, or you can write this as negative 6 because you can interchange the two numbers there. You can interchange this when you add two numbers. So negative 6 plus negative 8 is equal to negative 14. And of course, you know that 6 plus 8 is equal to 14, right? So if you change all the signs, so negative 6 minus 8 is equal to negative 14. That's the logic there. So next one is negative 15 plus 6. You have to write 15 negative ones here, and then 6 positive ones there. This is also equal to 6 plus negative 15, or 6 minus 15. So you can write 6 positive ones here, and then 15 negative ones here. So this one will give you 0. This one will also give you 0. This one will give 0 also. This one will give 0 also. This one will give 0. This one will give 0. So how many are left? How many negative ones are left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So you have negative 9. So therefore 15, negative 15 plus 6 is equal to negative 9. Or you can write it in different ways. Negative 15 plus 6 equals negative 9, or 6 minus 15 equals negative 9, or 6 plus negative 15 equals negative 9. That's how easy it is. Next one. So vertical subtraction. Let's do this. Let's do this by grids. That's just like what we did in in addition. So you have 45 here minus 22. What's this? This is just 5 minus 2. This is a 3. And then you have 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. That's just 23. So the answer here is 23. For 87 minus 56, the answer is, what is 7 minus 6? This is just equal to 1. And then 8 minus 5 is equal to 3. So that's 31. If you don't know how to subtract 7, you don't know how to subtract 6 from 7, you just create the wave. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and then below you have 6 1 1 2 3 4 5 6. So you're left with 1 above. That's 1 here. That's 1 there. So you can do that. How about 56 minus 7? You know that here 56 minus 87, this is equal to, you're subtracting a large number from a small number. So what you will do is you write negative 87 here plus 56. That's what you should do when you do when you subtract a large number from a smaller number. So 7 minus 6 is 1, and then negative 8 plus 5 is negative 3. So that's negative 31. So how about this? 649 minus 276. You have this. This one you can write. You have to put a space here, because look at this. You have 9 minus 6. This is okay, but 4 minus 7 is not okay. And then you have 6 minus 2. You can actually write this like this one. So let's do this. So you have 649 minus 276. You do this like that. 9, you can bring down 9 because 9 is bigger than 6 here. Let's choose another color. You have 9, you bring down, and then 4, you can put 4 here, but 4 is less than 7. It's smaller than 7, so you can borrow 10 from the next number to the left. So you can write 14 here, and then because you've borrowed 1 from 6, you write here 5. So this is actually 5 plus 1 is equal to 6. So that's how it is. So 9 minus 6 equals 3, and then 14 minus 7, of course, is equal to 7, and then 5 minus 2 is equal to 3. So that's how it's done. Now it's the same thing here. It's supposed to be minus 200 or 276 minus 649, but I was not able to change that. So let's look at the solution, which are more clear on this slide. So you have 45 minus 22 is equal to 23, which we got right. And then 87 minus 56 is equal to 31. And then 56 minus 87, you are subtracting a bigger number from a smaller number, so you have to reverse the order. So you have negative 87 plus 56 is equal to negative 31. And then here you have 649 minus 276, so you bring down 9 here, and then 4, and then you borrow 1 because 4 is less than 7. So you borrow 1 from 6. We borrow a 10 from the next number. From the next number to the left. So you'll be left with 5. So 5 plus 1 is actually equal to 6. So you have 14 minus 7 is 7. And then 5 minus 2 is 3. So that's 373. And the same goes to 276 minus 649 here. But since you're subtracting a larger number from a smaller number, you have to change, or we have to reverse the two numbers. You have 649 minus 2, negative 649 plus 276. So you have, again, bring down 9, and then you have bring down 4 here, but again 4 is less than 7, so you have to take 10 from the next number to the left. You have 14, and then you have to subtract 1 from here, so you have 5. So 9 minus 6 is 3, and then 14 minus 7 is 7. Negative 5 plus 2 is negative 3. So that's why you have negative 373 there. So I hope you understand that. So how about large numbers? Again, we can do this. So you have 65 minus 48 equals, but 5 is less than 8, so you have to borrow 10 to the next number, borrow 10 to the number next going to the left. So this is 15, and you have 6. No, you have 5. So 15 minus 8 is 7, and then you have 5 minus 4 equals 1. That's 17. Or you have 835 minus 835 minus 479. This is equal to 5 is less than 9, so you can write 15 here. And then since you borrowed 1 from here, you have 2. But 2 is less than 7, so you have to borrow another 10 to the next number. So this is now 7. So here you have 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. And then 7 plus 1 here is equal to 8. So you now have, so you crush this out, 15 minus 9 is equal to 6, and then 12 minus 7 equals to 5, and 7 minus 4 is equal to 3. That's 356. And then you have, the next number is 6,273, and you have to subtract minus 2,736. Now 3 is less than 6, so you have to borrow 10 to the next number to the left. So this is 13, Let me change color. So you have, this is 13. And then since you borrowed 1 from here, so this becomes 6. But 6 is larger than 3, so it's okay. So you don't have to borrow. 2 is less than 7, so this is 2 here. You have to borrow 10 to the next, going to the left. This is 12, so this is now 5. So that's it, and you have to cross this out. So you have 13 minus 6 is 7, and then you have 6 minus 3 is 3, and then 12 minus 7 is 5, and then 5 minus 2 is 3,537. That's the difference between 6,273 minus, or the difference between 6,273 and 2,736, or 6,273 minus 2,736. So let's go to a larger number, bigger one. This is 54762, or 54,762 minus 53,891. This one. So 2 is larger than 1, so this one is, by the way, let's check if 54,000 is larger than 53,000, right? So that's okay. So 2 minus 1 is okay, so you can write 2 here. You can write 2 here. And then 6 is less than 9, so you have to borrow 10 to the next number to the left. So this one is 6. But again, 6 is less than 8, so you have to borrow again 10 to the next number. So you're left to here with 3, and then 3 is equal to 3, so that's no problem. And then 5, you have to crush this out. So 2 minus 1 is 1, 16 minus 9 is 7, and then 16 minus 8 is 8, and then 3 minus 3 is 0, of course, and then 5 minus 5 is 0. So you have 871 as the answer. And of course that's clearly in this clearly done in this slide here. So let's just take a look at here. You have 2 brought down here, and then you have 6. Since 6 is less than 9, so you have to borrow 10 from here, and then this 7 becomes 6 because you borrowed 10, and 6 is again less than 8, so you have to borrow another 10 to the next number. So you have this one now. 4 is just equal to 3 plus 1, and then you have 3 and 5. That's okay because they are equal. So you have 871, and we got the same things for this one and for this one. So I hope you understand a little bit. Kids, don't worry, your parents can explain this to you. So anyway, going back, going to here, 6,273 minus 2,736. So from here you have 3. You can bring down the 3 here, but 3 is less than 6, so you have to borrow 10 to the next number. So this becomes 13, but the next number will be decreased by 1, so 6 here, but 6 is greater than 3, so it's okay, no problem. And then 2, you can bring down the 2 here, but then 2 is less than 7, so you have to borrow again 10 to the next number to the left, so you'll be 12 minus 7. This is 12 now, and then 5 this should be less than 1, so you put 5. And then you have 13 minus 6 is 7, and then 6 minus 3 is 3, and then 12 minus 7 is 5, and then 5 minus 2 is 3. So that's how it is. Easier than you think, right? So how about these numbers? Look at these numbers. This one is smaller, and you're subtracting a larger number from a smaller number. Here also you are subtracting a larger number from a smaller number. And here you are subtracting again a larger number to a smaller number. Again, you are subtracting a larger number from a smaller number. What will you do? So let's consider the first one. You have 5, 6, 5 minus 7, 4, 8. This is equal to. So what will you do? We have to reverse the order. So you have negative 7, 4, 8, because you're now subtracting a larger number from a smaller number, and so you have to reverse or interchange the two numbers. Then you have plus 5, 6, 5 here. I'm sorry, I have to do it here. Plus 5, 6, 5 there. So you bring down 8. Bring down 8. 4 is less than 6, so you have to borrow 10 from the from the next number to the left. So this is 14 now. And then you have to bring down a number less than 1 from 7, so this is equal to 6. That's negative 6 that's negative 6 now. So you have to crush this out. 8 minus 5 is 3, and then 14 minus 6 is 8, and then negative 6 plus 5 is 1. Or you can say that 8 minus 5 equals 3, and then 14 minus 6 is equal to 8, and then 6 minus 5 is equal to 1, and then you put the sign negative, because this is now a larger number subtracted from a smaller number. Now for this one here, 479 minus 543. So let's look at this. It's 479 minus 543. What's that? So since you are subtracting a larger number from a smaller number, you have to reverse the order. So you have negative 543 plus 479, and then you bring down the 3, but 3 is less than 9, so you have to borrow 10 from the number next to the left, so you make it 13 there, and then 4 minus 3, you have 3, but 3 is also less than 7, so you have to borrow 10 again to the next number, so you have make it 13, and then 10 here, so the number left is negative 4. That should be less than 1 less than the number above. So you can crash this out, and then you have 13 minus 9 is equal to 4, and 13 minus 7 is equal to 6, and then 4 minus 4 is equal to 0. So you don't write 0 anymore, and then you just bring down the negative sign. That's how you do it. And so next one is 3 3,273 minus 6,731. What is the answer? So again, you're subtracting a bigger number. So again, you have to reverse or interchange the two numbers. And then you have now negative 6,731 plus 3,273. This is equal to, so now you can bring down 1, but 1 is less than 3, so you have to borrow 10 from the number next to the left, 11, and then you will be left with 2 here. But 2 is less than 7, so you have to borrow again 10 to the number from the number to the left, and then you have here, since you borrowed 10, so you only have 1 less of that number. And then of course 6 is already greater than 2, it's okay, so you have negative 6 also here down there. So 11 minus 3 is equal to 8, and then 12 minus 7 equal to 5, and then 6 minus equal to 4, and then negative 6 plus 3, or 6 minus 3 is equal to 3, but then you have to put the negative sign. So this is now 3,458. For this big number here, let's look at this. So you have 354,762 minus 356,551. So take a look at this number. Again, you're subtracting a larger number. Let's check this first digit here. 3 is equal to 3, 5 is equal to 5, but 4 is less than 6. So again, you are subtracting a larger number from a smaller number. So again, you have to change the order. So you have negative 356,551 plus 354,762. I have to put a space. So plus 300,000 354,762. So I'll just crush this out. So now you bring down 1. Let's change the color of the pen. Bring down 1 here. 1 is less than 2, so you have to borrow 10 from the number next to the left. And then you have 5, so you have 4 here. But 4 is less than 6, so you again borrow 10 from the number to the next number going to the left. Then you write 14 here, and then 5 minus 1 should be, this is supposed to be 4. And 4 is less than 7, so you borrow again 10 to the next number to the left. And then you have 6 becomes 5. So you can crush this out. No, you have to put 5 also. You have to bring down 5 and 3 negative. Sorry. So 11 minus 2 is 9. And then 14 minus 6 is 8. And 14 minus 7 is 7. And then 5 minus 4 is 1. But you have here 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. You don't have to write it. And of course also 3 minus 3 is equal to 0. So you don't have to write it also. You have to bring down the negative sign here. So that's negative 1,789. You can clearly see it here. So this one. So let's check this one. So you have 3,273 minus 6,731. So since you're subtracting a larger number to a smaller number, you have to change the order here. So it's negative 6,731 above, and then you have plus 3,273 down there. And then you have 1 is less than 3, so you have to borrow 10 to the number next to the left. So the 3 becomes 2, and so again 2 is less than 7, but so you have to borrow again 10 from here. So you make this 12, and then you have to bring down 6 because you have borrowed 10 from here. So it becomes 6. So that you will get this one. So that's how to subtract. So at least now you know that there are two types of numbers. One is positive and the other one is negative. And you know how to subtract a number to another number. Like we have shown example that you're subtracting a smaller number to a larger number, and then we also showed you, and I showed you also a bigger number subtracted from a smaller number. If a bigger number is subtracted to a smaller number, it gives you negative number. But if a smaller number is subtracted to a bigger number, that gives you positive number. But if a number is subtracted to the same number, that gives you 0. So let's try solving this problem. I will not solve this, but I'll just give you hints on how to solve this problem. For number 1, Maria has 55 mangoes and 37 avocados. Laura ate 5 of those mangoes, and Lito took 7 avocados from them. How many mangoes are left? So, what will you do? And then the next question is, how many avocados are left? So, what will you do? You do subtraction. And then after that, after Laura ate 5 mangoes and after Lito took the 7 avocados from Maria, Marco came and got 23 mangoes and 24 avocados from Maria. Finally, question is, how many mangoes are left? And how many avocados are left with Maria? How many mangoes are left? And how many avocados are left with Maria? And then, but there's a trick question here. How many pieces of fruit were left? So, I know that you know how to solve that problem now. The next problem is, you have Joselito has 287 pesos. He bought some papers for 96 pesos at one store. The question now is, how much money he has left after. So after he bought some papers for 96 pesos, he originally has 287 pesos. how much money he has left after. And then he came after that, after buying some papers, he came to another store and bought a special pen for 56 pesos and some other school supplies for 121 pesos. Finally, how much money does he have now? So, what will you do? You have to again do subtraction. So, let's try this problem, this third problem here. Solve 5 plus 7. Solve 5 plus 7 minus 6 plus 3 minus 12 minus 4 plus 8 minus 1 plus 10. So what will you do there is, you have to rewrite this, because addition of numbers, you can interchange the order for as long as you carry the sign. So for example, here you have 5 plus 7, and then you can, next to 7 you can write plus 3, and then plus 8, and then plus 10, and then you write the negative numbers. Then after that, after all the positive numbers, you write the negative numbers. So this is negative 6 or minus 6, minus 12, minus 4, minus 1. What is this? So you can add this, right? 5 plus 7 equals 12. 5 plus 7 equals 12. Plus 3 equals 15. Plus 8 equals 23. Plus 10 equals 33. So you have 33. And then you have these numbers here. 6 minus 6 minus 12. So you know the rule, right? So you just like add but carry the sign. So negative 6 minus 12 is 18. So that's negative 18. And then minus 4, that's negative 22. And then minus 1 is negative 23. So you have negative 23 equals 10. So this is equal to 10. So that's all for now. I hope you learned I hope you've learned some subtraction. And then I know that with a lot of practice, with a lot of remembering the rules of subtraction, going to the fundamentals of subtraction, you will become an expert. A lot of practice will make you an expert in subtraction. So that's my word for you. Please subscribe to this channel and share the video to help others. Watch out for new math videos soon.